Hi, I'm Bert Seelman, and I'm here today to talk to you about weight loss and how you can do it once and you can do it for life. That's if you want to. It can be done. I've worked with people for over 43 years. I've helped several people to lose several hundreds of pounds and never put it back on, and scores of people to lose 100 or more and keep it off for a lifetime. Now, they may slip from time to time a little here and there, but they know how to get it back and get it going, because they've got the experience and they've got the understanding, and that's where the importance is. So being heavy, being fat, being obese, even morbidly obese, is not a sickness. This is a choice. This is a cognizant, ready choice that these people made. However, there are a lot of things that have to do with this, and getting through it needs several things. One of them is you have to have the intellect, the understanding to make these choices correctly. Why and how come? The other thing is to have the experience of having done it. And during that experience, it's critical that these people have good support, caring support, not someone who's going to just allow them to feel warm and fuzzy, but to really call them back and help them to get focused and to really give them the type of tough love that they really need and reassure that direction. And sometimes a financial commitment helps too. So let's talk about what's missing here. Most of all, it's adequate facts and not knowing about how the body really responds to many things, and of course the support system. So fat, obese, or overweight, the psychology of it can be an emotional harm or hurt. It can be a soul wound, if you want to call it that. It can be not just a soul wound, but a psychological profile, a disturbance, a bad happening in a person's life that they tend to react or literally try to cover themselves up to get away from it, or a type of control. Usually obesity and being overweight is about control, a positive control, not being out of control, but a cognizant control. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the physiology of it, and we'll get into the soul wound and the mental aspect at another time and another place. And no one should have their personal things aired out to anyone when we deal with people. We make sure that this is not dealt with, but that's one of the reasons why we have success. And then we do a lot of checking up. Look at some of our videos, especially on diabetes. The one fellow will tell you that we keep getting back to people. We don't set you down and leave you go. You do a program with us, you're on for life. So you're kind of in a big problem there. So being overweight, obese, it's about selfishness. It's about what you want or feel that you need right now. And it's that comfort you want right now. So most things and most illnesses, as well as obesity, comes from comfort and convenience. We want to feel good right now, and we want to have it real quick. So let's remember that that can lead to somebody being sick and out of balance. And then we go to a doctor and he gives us something because he's convenient. And he's quick. He'll give us something to make us have more comfort, a pill that will mask the symptom. And so we're in trouble. So usually when we're wanting to be overweight and obese, we are looking for some type of a sensation that food gives. It's a control. We can have it when we want. It's a sensation that makes us feel good. It's something that's convenient. So we need to stop and we need to look at this. But there are foods out there that when a person starts to eat properly, their taste change. Yes, people's taste change when they change their diet. The body and the spirit actually know what to ask for and will ask for it if the body has a frame of reference. Yes, a frame of reference over a period of time to know and understand what these good things can do and what they will produce. People actually learn, especially youth, to actually make the better choices, and they actually can tell they don't feel better once they've given the body that frame of reference in time to know what can really feel better, know what energy can really be like, to know what sleep can feel like naturally without being, reduced to using some type of pharmaceutical that's going to do more damage than good. So one of the things people need to understand is hunger. When you have hunger, it's because your blood sugar level drops too low. If you're allowed to let your blood sugar drop too low too often and you get into hunger, you're going to start going off your diet. Our programs have never, ever had anyone complaining about that. In fact, a proper diet using the right foods will be more food than anybody actually wants to use. There'll be no hunger if your diet is actually proper. And when it comes to cravings, let me tell you now, if you're having a craving, you've got a nutrient imbalance. This is why we always use supplementation. If we're going to limit the amount of caloric intake or then limit the total amount of foods, we don't want any hunger and we don't want any cravings, because there again, you're setting a person up for failure. So no hunger, no cravings. When this happens, you know you're on the right type of dietary system. You know that your needs are being met. You don't think about food. You don't crave food. You don't want food. But it does take some change in the psychology of it. Now remember that a lifestyle change to keep your weight off requires a value judgment change in the core belief of the person. In other words, you have to understand that every time you reach for something, that's not what you're going to want to have. You have to understand that there's things that you can eat and things that you can have that are very good for you, that make things work well for you, that help you to stay lean. In fact, there's many low glycemic index vegetables that will burn up more calories going from your mouth to your anus than they'll actually supply. In fact, you'll never find anyone who could be heavy if you eat a pure vegetable and fish diet and eat small amounts 5 times a day. You'll lose more food and feel better than you ever have in your life, and you'll lose a tremendous amount of weight. But you won't be able to sustain it until you understand all the particulars. Now, a proper diet, like I said, has you eating almost too much. But let's look at some of the things why things fail. When you use carb blockers or fat blockers, you're also blocking nutrients. You're also denying the body. You're going into starvation mode from too low a blood sugar, too many of the wrong foods not being or being oversupplied, and too many of the good foods not being supplied. So when you block things, you're blocking everything. And when you look at things like a suppressant, you're going to suppress your appetite. Well, your appetite's going to come back, and literally it's going to bite you in the butt with more size because you're going to want to eat more foods. You can't suppress natural things with the body. You must have what the body needs. Again, this is why we have supplements. This is why we have certain types of fats and foods in our diets that actually work to help supply everything that's needed. Liposuction is another thing that you don't want to think about. I mean, are you going to go back for more multiple treatments of liposuction? And what did you really learn to keep it from happening again? Remember that all weight loss programs, all obese programs, if they're not doing the right education, which they don't, they want you back for the money, they do not teach you how to stay free. They do not give you the success that felt right. They didn't give you things that you could sustain in any country, at any place, at any time, and under your own cognizance that you could do this. Another one is lap band. To put that restriction on your stomach, I've seen people overeat, put the weight on to a greater degree, literally have stomach problems and physiology problems from overdoing it while on lap band. And when you talk about gastric bypass, we should be saying cranial bypass, because to think that you can reroute the body's organs, when you do this and you actually bypass parts of the body and its absorption areas, you're losing out on many of the nutrients that you should get. So the doctor never tells you you're not going to be absorbing certain vitamins. He'll try to give you a multiple, but it won't absorb because certain vitamins are only absorbed in certain areas. They aren't all absorbed in the same area. So these things lead to long-term debilitating effects. Actually, it's a death sentence. And the doctor is not showing that he knows much about your health, how to produce health, how to keep you from being sick. And if he can't help you to control your diet, and he doesn't understand the basic nutrition, and you're going to a man for a cure, and he can't tell you how to literally prevent it, why are you going to this man? But he's going to make money on you because he's going to sell you that gastric bypass because it's good money for his pocket. So your nutrients will never be absorbed again forever the way they should have been. So conventional methods are failing because they don't have the proper facts. They don't have balanced foods and diets and teach you how to eat anywhere and everywhere. They don't give you a value system change that helps you to understand because you've gone through it and had the support. And so therefore, you're just out in left field. So imagine a program with no hunger, no cravings because everything's balanced. You literally are having minimal exercise. I mean literally minimal exercise, 20 minutes, 3 or 4 times to 7 times a week. And that you can eat more food than you'd ever believe and that you're going to learn for a lifetime. So don't lose hope, people. I don't care how obese you are or what you need to know. It's there. People have done it. I've got a housekeeper who lost over 230 pounds and has kept it off. I've got so many of my personal friends have lost over 100 pounds and kept it off. And we've made friends for life over this. So you can lose it once, you can lose it right, and you can learn it for life. So don't be taken anymore. Weight loss can be a reality and is a reality when you get the right facts. So if you need the help, give us a call.